G'day guys, haven't made a video for a while, been too flat out, too busy, but working away. Had one of these come in and the display was very dark, and it came in for a new screen if needed, and pulled it apart, and what it was one of the connectors on the back of the board. All I did is slid it out and slid it back in, and the display came good. It had some sort of oxide or corrosion on the connector. So I pulled it out and cleaned it up with isopropyl alcohol, and yeah, now it should be working with a bit of luck. This is the original one. I've got it on a brightness of 10, even though it's fixed. It really doesn't stand out too much for some reason. I've got it flat out on the brightness there, and with this plastic, if you can, the plastic too, it's a lot of reflection. Like if I get it down like so, if you had sunlight equivalent into it, you can see it just whites out. Someone should do something different with this protection, this plastic protection on this cover. You know, in the front part there, I don't know, what could you do? You could probably put in a piece of something like, I don't know, Gorilla Glass or something like that. But I don't know, just on the screen part, it just flares. As you can see, it's really flared. Like that other detector I did the new display in, you could hold it right at the sun like this and it just wouldn't flare at all. So this one, it's working. Like if I get in close there and hold it down, you can see it's all lit up. So we don't want it on though. So that was an easy one. Just bad connections. That's all fixed up. Going to tell you something else about these detectors too. I found out this happened to someone else the other day. It's another repair I had to do. Here, I'll show you this. It's to do with the batteries. I'll just pop this one off, if you can get it out. Okay. Now, these batteries get a little bit of a lip around here, which goes in to the housing, and there's a little bit of a, I think it's a bit of a rubber thing in there. But anyway, what happens with these, I've noticed this, that if the detector sits around without a battery in it, you know, like just open like so, no battery, I don't know, I think the rubber thing in here might swell out a bit. I don't know. I just haven't done it long enough to prove a point here. But what happened to one of the customers of ours? Puts the battery in, as so, and when he went to clip it with these, you know, the little holder clips. Now, I've noticed on this one too, it is really tough. And what I suggest, don't do one and then the other. Do both at the same time, and do it slowly, right? Because I'll tell you what happened. And I'll tell you, this one here is extremely tight as well. Put a bit of pressure, push it down when you do it. That is so tight. Because what actually happened, I got a spare one of these. So anyway, I'll get rid of that off the lap, put it over there. That is a replacement for the 7000, just the back part. It's got the mylar and everything in there, very good. But what actually happens, these things here, they snap and break off. and it'll do it on one side and the battery won't stay in properly, it won't connect. So be careful putting the battery in if the rubber in here, and if you look at that rubber in there, it's poking right out. It's never been squashed. Actually, I'll just rescue my battery off here. This is my battery. God, it's spring loaded. There is so much pressure. That is so easy to break. So, battery, it hasn't got the pins. You meant to, if you do break one, you have to get the pins off your old one. But anyway, and the clamps. This one is not so bad actually. It just might be. Tell you what, it could be. Maybe it couldn't or it shouldn't be. But I'm just saying. What if out in the field your battery goes dead and you change it for another, and over a period of time, dirt is building up in. I don't know if you can even see that. It gets like dirt or something building up in the seal area and then starts pushing the seal out. This here, I can do that with my hands. It just goes perfectly closed. But this one's brand new. So I did repair the other one anyway for the fellow. It was, I could do an invisible repair on it. It was much better than how it was. So I didn't charge him. I just fixed it for him because that was not cheap. So I'll just keep it as a spare. But I'm just noticing here, I'm just going to put this battery back in here and just push it in by hand. I'm not sure what's going on, but this one is that is spring loaded like crazy. I can't really, yeah, it's going down. I don't know. There's something different. Yep, you know, push like almighty. Oh, and that's an old seal. Maybe the seals, I don't know. I'm just saying this is just my opinion. Um, maybe those seals swell up over time. Is that possible? That I don't know. And if it does swell, it's going to push a lot of pressure on the battery when you're trying to put it in, and you could snap these little wings, battery clips off. I'd be wary of that because they can break. They're not that strong. And I was on this, it really worried me. I thought I was going to break it because it's really hard. And then it just goes, just snaps in so hard. It's a lot of pressure there. So just be wary. You don't want to break your detector housing. But yeah, I'm pushing like crazy on that. And it's still got some give in it. Let's put that back on. You look at this. I don't know if you can look at it, but I'm squeezing this, pulling it like so. And I'm going to put my palm on these and push them at the same time. I just can't get over the pressure. And that one just didn't go on. Ready, set. It freaking feels like it's going to break. My God. That's a lot of pressure I'm putting on that. It's a lot softer closing, but that is just really over the top. I might pop the seal out and see what's going on, because you hear that real crack sound. It just wants to launch the battery off. So yeah, I've noticed there's been a few detectors like that, and I just wondering if it is. It's on the older ones too. If I've got something pointy, how about a multimeter lead? I'll see if I can get the seal out and without pulling the multimeter off the bench. Come on, out you come. Here we go. Well, that's the seal. It's coated in dust, so it might be the issue. I don't know. it's clean on that side, but this is coated in dust. So what I'll do, I'll just give it a clean up. You really don't want, yeah, there's a ton of dust on it. But that won't be enough to do what it's doing, for sure. I really don't know what the mechanism there. Yeah, there's dust all over this. So what I might do, I might get some silicone spray, and I'll just spray in the groove on the back part of this detector. Let's get that out of the way. I was going to put a few. This is, I think, cheapest chips had this. It's not that expensive. So up the top corner, touch there. Okay. I'm going to put the seal back in. Flat across the top, what it's meant to be, and curves down at the bottom, so it goes in that way. But yeah, it's just very strange the amount of pressure that's needed to get that in. You know, I don't know, is there aftermarket seals that people are putting in that are too fat or just too big in general? Put a bit more on it. Silicon for silicon. You don't want to get it anywhere else, just in that groove there. And we'll see how it goes. When I had one of these detectors, I bought one years ago, and I broke that damn clamp, which wasn't very good. Okay, that's actually going in now. So I really don't know why that was. Yeah, I don't know if you can actually see that, but it wants to clamp up all the way. So we'll try it again with its little clips. It might just need a touch of silicone spray. Okay. Okay, she's settled, and I'll just push him just with my fingers, see what happens. Still a lot of pressure, but better. So be wary of that. It can break those little holders there on the plastic that the pins go through. You can break them off. So undo it. Yeah, it didn't want to launch out like it did before. I was pushing it like so. Yeah, still a lot of pressure though, but it is better. I don't even know if, this thing's, there's nothing on here. Got me bamboozled. Why is such a tight fit? All clean? Fine. Don't know. It's just a hell of a lot of pressure. But, what I would suggest, if you never want to break it, when you put it in, hold your detector like so, get your fingers under there, push your battery in, push it by hand really hard. Actually, these just want to fall off every time I do it, so I'll do it like this. When the battery moves in a bit, it drops those clamps off. So, like so, and then just with this part of your hand here, just force it there whilst pulling it down, just so you don't break those clamps. Kind of feels tight. There we go. That's in hard. Yeah, just so much pressure there. I just don't know why. That's it. So maybe there might be different sizes of silicon, or the way they're manufactured. Do they come out of a, some detectors are, I don't know if these are, but You know, we had detectors made in Australia, detectors made in Malaysia, detectors made in China. Is it something of that nature? I don't know. A different process, but yeah. But yeah, I just, things like that, I sort of just pulls me up, because I know that if it's happening to me, it's going to happen to other people. Just checking that seal all the way around. Make sure there's nothing weird or anything like that. Tell you what I do notice. It feels like it's down further on the left hand side than the right. I can see how much plastic is over the top of that little silicon seal. It's deeper. It absolutely is. It's deeper on the left than on the right, not by much. Look, so that could possibly indicate a issue with the injection molding on this part, the way it's injection molded. This one looks perfectly okay, but overall, they're all still tight. You know, they're just very, very tight. Even just holding that in my fingers there is a good 2 millimeters just resting on that seal, and then it's got to clamp in. But it clamps in so easy on this one. Yeah, there's something funny going on here. I don't know what it is, but it NQR, not quite right. I'm just trying to suss this out, just so any of you guys out there with the 7s don't break your clamps. So, hang on, this thing's catching. There's something going on here. I'm pushing down and it actually hasn't gone all the way in. Now what I did, I rotated it towards the back of the detector on the top here. I pulled it back and it went in. Hear that? This is interesting. What's going on? Well, the battery goes in perfectly on the other housing. So have they not been molded properly? Have they moved in the sun and got hot? Why would that be so? I'm just checking everything in here. This could be the reason why the clamps break. Let's have a look. See, I'm going like so, and I'm saying, that's in hard. No, it's not. You listen. I'll put the microphone near it when I push it and pull it back. I'll just do it now. Hang on. Hang on, try again. There you go, clunk. Okay. There's something going on there. Now I'll put the clamps on. Well, after it's gone clunk, let's have a look. Okay, it's down. Oh, so much better. Okay, there's something happening. It's causing it to catch. And it's on the original housing here on this detector. So what the hell is that? What's happening? You'll be able to tell. I'll show you. I'll get the battery and I'll just put it in and I'll show you the gap. I thought it was closing up. Have a look at that. If you can see it. I don't know if I can make it so you can see it. There's a gap there. There's a gap. I'm pushing like crazy. There it is. Now watch this. Hang on. There you go. See it go down? I just twisted it and it went down. So now I think I know why the clamps break. There's something happening with the housings. There's something amiss. I might have to do more investigation on this, because it's so easy just to put that in the detector like so, and you, look at that. that it's still got that gap. I'm pushing like crazy, and that gap, I don't know if you can see it, the gap is here. It probably needs something white behind it or something like that. There is a big gap there, and I'm pushing like crazy on this, trying to get it down, right? And I'm putting all my force on this. I'm lifting myself up out of the chair just about, and it won't go down. Okay, now we know what's breaking the clamps, because the clamps break here on this part, which means that's the high part of the battery housing where all the pressure is. So, oh my God, I could have broken the clamps on this really easy. If just doing that, my God, I don't think it was clipping in. It was just holding with all that pressure. That's crazy. It won't. Look at that. I'm banging it, and just give you an idea. Let's get a screwdriver here. All right. There's a gap in there. Big gap. You know, clunk, clunk. Yeah, there's a gap there. So this is really. There goes the screwdriver. But yeah, be wary of this, because you could break your clamps, and then you'd have to somehow put a big strap around your battery to pull it into place. Nah, that's freaking bizarre. Sorry guys, but yeah, I didn't know it was this bad. And I'll pull it back, and what I'm doing is I'm rotating it like that while I'm pulling it down. And you I don't know if you can see, but you probably maybe not. I have to do it with two hands. I can't do it. Hang on. There we go. Down she goes. There's no gap there anymore. So something's holding it right there. There's no gap. I can't get the screwdriver in there anymore. There's no gap there. Gone. So what's causing that? It's something not aligning. And as soon as I lift the battery up a little bit like that, yep, the gap's there again. And look at that. I'm pulling it down like crazy, and that gap's still there. I don't know if you can see it. I'll move it right in. Can you see that gap there? I don't know. And I'll pull it towards me, see if I can drop it. There you go. You saw that? Closed up right there. Again, pull the battery out. Put it there. Got the gap. And I'll twist it as I push down. There you go, clunk. So this is the mechanism that's breaking the clamps on these. It just went down on one side. It didn't go down this side. You have a look. It's cockeyed. I don't know if you can see. It's probably not enough light, but you can. There's a gap there closest to the camera and not near me. And there you go, straight down again. So okay, this is what's probably breaking those clamps, because when that battery is down all the way, which it is now, you can get these things here and just go click with your fingers. Not a problem. But yeah, I couldn't work out before. I was saying, why on earth is this taking so much effort to get in? Yeah, so there's something funny going on. It's not the battery, because it goes in the other housing beautifully. It's something here. And what I would say, my opinion, has it been put down hard and banged? I don't know. I'm going to have to look into this, I think, because yeah, there's something going on. Just be careful when you put your batteries in. Like that's not snapped in. I'm pushing a lot of pressure on it, and you know, if you have a look at these wings, the little clip wings, how far they are out. This is very awkward to do, but have a look at this. If they're that far out, that is like mega pressure. That is, I can't do it with just my fingers. So don't force it, I think, is probably the name of the game here. I cannot get that in. So if I get this and I twist it, clunk, I heard it that time, clunk, and then it should just go easy. There you go. So be wary of that. I've got to do some investigation to find out what has changed on the housing of this to cause that issue. So yeah, now I know why they break. I've had it before, so be wary. Anyway, that's enough on that. There are other things I want to show, and I don't really want to do it right now. There's reasons. Oh, and by the way, too, someone was saying that that you didn't nut out the fine gold issue on the 5000s or something with the gain or the frequency. No, I have cured that. That is a cure. Here's one here. This one on the bench. That's a 5000. If I turn this on, gives it some amplification. Turn it on. I got to find the speaker. It's under my book there. Oopsies. Okay, stay there, speaker. And where are we? I'm putting it fixed. We'll put it into special timings. So it's in special timings. Let's get the gain flat out. This is more gain than what you'd ever need in here, I tell you. 0.05. Yeah, not a problem. So full gain, it's already on full frequency. She's up. I think she's probably about 28 microseconds or so. And yeah, we don't need all that gain. So you can run a stack of gain on these now. They will not saturate the front end, and it'll pick up. I think I did it the other day. I had tiny little bits of gold where I could get them easy as. Like you sort of, I think I did on the other video where basically I was using this and beating the gold monster. So yeah, a pulse induction detector is beating the gold monster, which is a VLF type detector. So yeah, I've done all my 6000s. There's more coming in, and I did want to get out and do a small gold comparison between the modified 5000 or even a modified 4500 against the 6000. And my gut feel, I haven't proven it out in the field yet, but my gut feel is that they'd either be on par, or knowing what I've done to these detectors, it might beat the 6000. But that's yet to be proved. I can't do a 6000 in the workshop. I need to have it out in the field. The thing is that when I do people's detectors, a lot of the guys are professional detectorists. There is not that many, who will have a 6000 and will just go out, every second month for a couple of days or whatever. I don't have them very long. I've got people who, when they come in, they ring up and want to know, when can I get my detector back? And that's the common theme. So I try not to hold on to them, even though Tony lent me his 6000 for a while. Thanks, Tony. Hope you're out in the Palmer getting some nuggets with it. But yeah, his detector come up really, really well. Actually, all of them did. There's a heap of them out there now. So 6000s and the quiet and down 7s, quiet and down 6000s. Very, very good feedback, which is good overall. But yeah, this one here, it's nice, and look at my amplifier there, full. I've probably got the threshold down on this. Or maybe the audio's turned down, but anyway, I think it might have been set to quiet audio, this one. But this is just how it come in. It's just grabbing the input cables there. But yeah, very quiet, but a hell of a lot of punch. It's very, very punchy indeed, these fives, when done correctly. I'll use that word, correctly. So yeah, it even a low gain. That's the lowest gain setting. We'll just try it on 0.05 up here. Gets that no problem. 0.1s. You can overload it on 0.1 with next to no gain. What are we in? Special. Stick it in enhance. That's 10 dB below factory gain. You don't want to run a detector, but having your detector so it can work into negative gain from a factory standard setting, like still sensitive as anything to 0.1s, but by having negative gain, you can work the hottest of the hottest of the hottest ground, where normally you just have to pack up and say, no, I can't do that. Or lift your coil up so high that you're not going to get any small gold. Or we probably miss the big ones as well. But this one here, you can get the Kalgoorlie hot rock and just go and bang it on the coil, and it'll just cancel straight out. It's no problem. So that's where we're at with that. But this was really to do with the GPZ or GPZ, depending on what side of the earth you're on. And yeah, like I say, if the screen doesn't backlight, check the cables on the back of the display unit. And for the 5000s, yes, that's 5000. I've had a lot of them go back out, and they are working beautifully. Very, very well behaved, extremely punchy, and you've got the big frequency spread too, so you can go looking for big nuggets, or you go looking for little tiny ones. It's given you probably 3 detectors in one by having these modifications done, and it's so much quieter anyway. It's beautifully quiet. It's fantastic. So that's that. Next video, actually I might be doing a video tomorrow if the weather is nice. We have some massive big coils we have to test, and I think we'll be possibly taking them down to the test site, testing the big coils there. These coils are made for, well, you can use them for gold, but they're made for meteorite hunters. We do a lot of coils for meteorite hunters. And we've been doing a lot of big coils, drag coils, for some of the Eastern European countries where they look for those big buried treasures, which are Croatia, Yugoslavia, in that general direction. The old king's tombs, which usually are just a dimple on the ground. You can hardly see them, and sometimes it just it may be one or it may not be. So yeah, there's a lot of drag coil work going on over there. So yeah, we do those big coils, but mainly for meteorite hunters. Yeah, I'm not going to give too much away on that because they've got all their secret spots. Yeah, anyway, very good. So what else? What else? There is other stuff, but yeah, gotta wait till it comes. I've got the camera actually on a particular angle. You can't see behind me because there's stuff there that we don't want anyone to see at the moment. But it will be shown, I don't know, maybe 2 days. It'd be well worth waiting for. I'll do a show and tell. Anyway, that's probably enough waffle on this. Don't break your clips on your GPZs. And yeah, I'll investigate further why we have discrepancies on these detectors with the battery going in, which is going to cause grief for some people. If you have broken your clips on your detectors, on putting the battery in and you go on snap, let me know, because I'll see if we can work out what is going on. It's very, very strange. Anyway, that's it. Catch us later.